Welcome back, my friends, to the next episode. And if it looks like the same day, the same outfit, the same everything, that's because it really is only just a few minutes after the last episode ended when I was looking at something. But first, your trivia. Are there more grains of sand on the earth or insects? Interesting one. So, as I said, I was looking at something. This piece right here is a little loose. You can see it rocking back and forth, which I don't want that affecting the valve in there. So I want to add some type of stabilization to this. What I hope to do is go from this hole to this bolt with some sort of mechanism that allows this to turn and remain stable. I'm going to have to work on figuring that out. We'll see what happens. Going to be some tinkering, some thinkering. I know I've made up a new word. And some experimentation. So, this piece here is static. And this other red piece floats on top of it, maintaining tension to keep this piece from wiggling. Maintaining tension to keep the whole plate from wiggling. And I know if you look in there, I've used up a little bit of my air volume, but this isn't a high performance engine. I don't think that nut's going to stop anything. Now I just got to go put it on the boat. So, got it all hooked up. This is my throttle. Pull it up, go faster, push that, and it returns on its own. See it operating the valve. So, just put the filter back on and we'll be all done with that. Time to cut off the hose and the end of the tube that's in here. Smell that rubber burning. Next thing I gotta do is work on getting this battery box redone. Let's get this. As I stated, this is not big enough for the battery and all the other stuff in it, and I've also got to work on the wiring. Don't need that lid anymore. grounds don't really matter, marking them. They all come back to one spot. But I am going to mark the wires, the power wires, because it'd be nice to know what's what when I go back to fix it. Okay, well, I'm gonna take care of the rest of the wiring and stuff, and then I'll be back. Or I'll be back to it. As you can see, the new hole is made, but I'm pooped. It's late, I'm calling it quits. I will deal with putting in the walls and the rest of the stuff tomorrow. Or the next time I work. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new day. Where in Boston it is hotter than, take your pick. I would say balls, the surface of the sun, a volcano. Tomorrow is supposed to be even worse. So, first act of business. I have this old ground bus I built. Turned out it's a piece of crap. I don't like it. I'm going to rebuild it. Let me get to that and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, folks. Next, I made this little block holder for the battery cutoff switch. Simple, easy, not much more needed. Okie dokie, folks. Here's the new battery box. As I have ripped out the old one and have the new one in here with the ground bus, the switches, the main switch, and the battery all in there nice and neat. Works, doesn't have to fight to get it in and out. So there we go, all set for now, and on to the next step, which I don't know what it's going to be because I don't have any money. Good morning, my friends. How is everyone today? Let's start off with the trivia. One of these is not a type of wind. Zephyr, Scirocco, Corsair. I think it's an easy one, but who knows. So, what I'm doing today is I'm doing some painting. Now, as I mentioned once before, everything I had for the storage wells and the transom and stuff was this sage green color. And I have run out of that sage green. And I need to redo a bunch of the paint. So I have gone with this sky blue color. Now, one of the reasons I went with the sky blue instead of another green is the deck I have some paint coming that is red. Getting it cheap from a guy who has extra. And I didn't think the green and red really went together. It looked kind of Christmassy, I thought. But I think the red and the light blue will look great. So I needed to do touch-up anyways on some of the green, so I'm just gonna paint it all this blue. Well, folks, as you can see, anything that was green is now blue. With the first coat this afternoon, after it all dries, I'll be coming back and putting on a second coat. But the insides of the boxes will now be blue. The transoms and the stands for the chairs will now be blue. And then I'll have a red deck. Good afternoon on this overcast day here in Boston. What I'm going to be doing today is taking these rubber pieces, cutting into approximately 1-inch strips so that I can put those on the lip of the storage lids to hopefully help make them waterproof or watertight. And I'll be using the carpet adhesive for that. So time to get cutting strips. So I've got a bunch of strips cut out. Let's see what I can do about getting them laid down on the lids. Okay, gonna let those dry. Once they're secure, I'll cut off the overhang on the inside. As you can see under here, there's some overhang. I'll cut those off later on once they're dry. 24 hours or so. So finally tonight I've repainted the lights. They look much better. They're glowing quite well. And over here I mounted the motor. Be testing that out soon, hopefully. Hey folks, how you doing? Well, let's start off with a little trivia today. What was the original name of New York City? I'll give you a hint. It was founded by the Dutch. And if you're a fan of movies, you'll know the answer to this. Okay, today what I'm going to try and do is level the boat. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to make a nice surface for my deck covering, which is, Rust-Oleum's topside paint. And I've decided I'm going to buy some self-leveling floor leveler and pour it on there and get it so that it fills in the low spots and things are nice. Problem is that if the boat's not level, I'm not going to have a level floor. So that's what I'm going to do today, is work on leveling the boat. Hope it goes easy. I don't think it will. So as you'll see in a moment, I have the front end lifted up with my 3-ton floor jack, which is more than enough to handle it. Now I'll be working some boards underneath to get it level, and I'll move to the back end, and then I'll try to get it level side to side. I think that's pretty much about as level as we're going to get it front to back. Side to side in the front. Yep, need to just adjust this just a touch. I think I'm going to have to wait some time before I finish this up. Maybe tomorrow. I guess I'll do some sanding and some touch-up painting. Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. So yesterday I didn't film, just didn't feel like it. But I did get some self-leveling floor compound. And like I said, I got the bolt level not too long ago. And I put down that self-leveling floor compound. But I didn't quite have enough, so there are a few spots I still got to do. And I will be working on that today. First thing I got to do is clean up some of this stuff and put cardboard around these openings so that not too much drips in. I did have some drip in, obviously. I'm going to have to repaint the inside of those. So, what I found works to seal these up is a piece of cardboard. Cut it to length that I need. Stick it in here. I'll do that for each of the 3 open sides. For the back I have a little different method. So what I'll do is close this down so that it pinches them in there. And then I run a bead of caulk around it. Small pieces back here, like this, a little caulk there. Basically, this is now sealed up, ready for me to pour. I've got 3 more to do like this, so I'll show you when I'm ready to pour. Okay, now it's time to mix up some goop. I have this old hanger that I bent and twisted that I'm going to stick in my drill. Used it yesterday as essentially a whisk. Grab a few cups of the powder. I think I'll start with 3. Don't want to make too much, obviously. What it calls for is the consistency of thin pancake syrup or a thin milkshake. I think I got it right yesterday. Okay, let's see how this pours. Now I gotta take that trowel thing, blade, and work it around, see about blending it in and smoothing it out. Hey everyone, I'm going to end this episode here with having laid down the self-leveling compound, and going to ask you as usual to like, subscribe, comment, and may all your adventures be safe and fun.